Here we are. Can't believe it. Again. Me and you.
That's just shit, that, like. I didn't like that.
Why?
That's cheesy, that, man. Didn't do cheese.
Is he absolutely taking the piss out
That
of
was
me?
cheesy, that bit.
What do you want us to say?
No,
like?
man, just say, like... Right, start that one again. What we're talking about.
I am actually going to say that because here we are. Because people really like what we did.
They did actually like it, actually. I didn't expect to get that many views in it, to be fair, like.
Oh, we got quite a few views.
It was all right, wasn't it?
Yeah. So what I did was I put out sort of on the Instagram, like what people want us to talk about. And they want us to talk about literally loads of things.
So what we're talking about?
Well, a lot of people want to know how we built the brand.
Well, we didn't really build it, really, did we? Well, we did, but we didn't, if that makes any sense. We just kind of happened, didn't it?
Well, people always say, what does SB stand for?
Smith Barbers, wasn't it?
Remember that sign writer? He come up with that, didn't he, with a crown on? Do you remember him? He used to come in, he used to go off on one all the time. And you went, I know this lad.
No, I said I wanted the crown on top of the
Oh,
SB.
did you?
Aye,
I thought he put the crown on.
No.
Well, it wasn't that crown anyway.
I said I wanted the crown on.
So, how did SB come about?
It was just the whole... just Smith's Barbers, wasn't it? And then it's just SB's just short for Smith's Barbers, that's it.
So you come up with a little logo on the window, didn't you?
Just SB with a crown on.
So then when I went to the academy, I was thinking of all these, overthinking again, thinking of all these names. And then you went, just call it SB. So we called it SB, and really we're separate businesses, but we're sort of under the same sort of branding, aren't we? Mm-hmm. And how did all this come about, do you think?
Just grafted, didn't we?
We did.
It's been hard, like, it's not been easy, but we've enjoyed it. I think that's the success behind it, though, isn't it? It's when you enjoy it. It's like this, I enjoy this, do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So when you're enjoying it, but you're actually not knowing that you're building something as well, aren't you? Do you know what I mean?
Like trust the process, isn't it?
Aye. But it is hard work. We had our ups and downs, though, aren't we?
Well, do you remember when I had my shop and you worked for me? And I was trying to build a business. I was trying to build a business, wasn't I?
Yeah.
So I was sort of like, I landed on that by accident. I didn't even really want to open a shop, to be fair. So we told the story on the last one about like Beefy. Mm-hmm. And he said, go in there. And I went in there and then it got really, really busy. And then when I took you on, but I put all the hours in at the start. So it was my business. So I put in all the hours, didn't I?
Yeah.
And you used to just come and go. Eating
What do
your
you mean?
tuna in between your clients and stuff.
I used to be on the Bolton mission and that at the time, like.
Didn't you?
Didn't I? Aye.
So he was like,
hitting the gym.
so I'm thinking, get the clients on. And then I'm like, where the hell's Ryan? He's just out the back having a tin of tuna. I need to eat every hour.
I did.
Tunas? That's all. I was like, Christ almighty. So you worked for me, but can I just say, you were a little shit, weren't you?
I was only young though at the time, though, wasn't I?
Now on, do you look back and think I shouldn't have really been doing that?
Well, at the time, because obviously I've got my own shop now, so I know how it all kind of, from your point of view, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
From a boss's point of view.
Because I did all the hours of that, when I got staff, I thought, which you do, I might be able to take an extra day off. Mm-hmm. So I would think, right, on the quiet day, I'll let you in. And you just, because we got you up to standard, didn't we?
Aye,
You were
we
cutting
did,
really well. And I thought, I've done this graft.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to take some time off.
You did put the work in, didn't you?
So you covered for me. Mm-hmm. And I used to hear stories. I haven't told you this. So I used to be in Asda and people were like, what you doing in here? You should be in the shop. So I felt like really tied to the shop. And then people used to say, I went in and I took the pen in and Ryan was there and he said, oh, Vikki or Joanne's not in today. Because you didn't want to do the kid. So you used to turn people away, didn't you?
Well, I didn't. It was just hard at the time. Like, well, you know what? It's still hard now, isn't it? When you're cutting like a 2-year-old or something like that and they're screaming and shouting and flinging the head about and that. It's not great, is it? Do you know what I mean?
Do you remember that lad who come in? Do you remember that lad that I found out at a later date and he come in the shop?
Who?
He went, can you cut me hair, please? Right.
Aye, but I had a bit of beef with him though, didn't I?
What did you say?
I just told my fuck off.
Eee!
Did I?
No, you didn't.
Well, I did.
You just said, can you cut your hair? And you said, no.
Aye, told me to get out. Aye. But that was I'm not going to talk about that on here. That was just like I never thought he would come. I don't actually think that he knew I was working in the shop, to be fair. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So that was that. But then, I know what you're going to see, obviously business, like...
So we're getting the same things now, not as bad as that, but sort of, it's really hard, isn't it? Because we've built up and you've grafted, you've done hours and hours in here. And it's about getting your dynamics in your shop right, isn't it? That's what I'm trying to get on about. Staff, I would say staff's really hard, isn't it?
Mega hard.
Because you've got to have people who've got a big crack.
Yeah.
And you've got to have people who have got good dynamics together. Because we've found, haven't we, that the dynamics in a shop can sort of ruin your business a little bit when you're not there.
You've got to have the right balance with people in the shop, haven't you?
Yeah,
you know
definitely.
What I mean? And people bounce off each other, good crack.
People want to know how you manage, how do you manage sort of with staff? Mainly you, because mine's different. But as a shop owner, people want to know how you manage with staff. How do you choose your staff?
I've had me ups and downs, like, haven't I? Do you know what I mean? Like, especially this last year.
Yeah.
Which we all know about.
We've had quite a high turnaround, really, this year, probably more than ever.
But I think that's going back to, like, when we were talking about on the podcast last time, like, it's been my fault, like, because because the shop's been so hectic and stuff like that, I've not really, which has been a learning curve for me, and still, like, a lot of years in, and again, you're still learning, aren't you? Kind of just rushing into stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Do you think I force you quite a bit? Sometimes I force your hand on staff, don't I?
Yeah, no, I suppose, like, it's just...
If I love the person, I think, let's try and get them in the shop. If I love the person, I sort of say, take him, or take her. Yeah. Do you know? And really, I need to trust you to make your own decisions for your shop, because I'm not in there.
Mm-hmm. I think it's just been... It's been a personality thing without the shop, I think. Like, so then, but I will admit though that the busier the shop's got and the more staff I've had, the more headache it's been. It has. I don't think I could have another shop. Like, loads of people say, open another one. I generally don't think I can, because you just can't get the staff right. I can't, like, now I feel like the staff now that I've got now is perfect.
The dynamics between them.
Perfect.
That's the thing. You've got to have.
If you have one bad apple, one bad person who's a little bit negative or whatever, or it just spoils the whole thing.
Yeah, because you find that people talk. I mean, you're always going to get that. I think for you as well, like...
we'll all just get on now. Like, it's just about just getting on, and everyone's got the right views on the shop. Like, do you know what I mean?
You don't take as much time out now, and I think that's important. Really, if you've got a business and you are like the face of the business, really, you shouldn't take that much time out, because that's what can cause problems.
Well,
so people who are building businesses now and they start taking time out, you actually find you can't.
Aye. Well, to be fair, we've both done that, haven't we?
Yeah, I made a mistake myself as well, because I just thought, I've worked so hard, then, I'm paying wages.
I was going to say, that's what you pay people for, don't you?
Yeah, but
take a job role on, and then you let them.
People can resent you for it. Like, your staff can resent you because you're not in, but you're still earning money and stuff like that. So what advice would you give
I've not moved from that chair for like years. Do you know what I mean? And these people have been in the industry not even half the time I've been doing it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the problem these days. It's like people don't want it. They don't want it. They want a lot of this, but not put the graft in. Like, I'm putting the graft. I'm still putting the graft in, and then you feel guilty because you take You feel guilty because you take that little bit of time out. Do you know what I mean? It shouldn't really be like that. Your staff should have your back. You've built the place. You've built the platform for them. Do you know what I mean? I get people dying to work in here, and then I give them an opportunity, and then sometimes you feel like it's like, well, they're just you feel guilty. You know, when you're not in. But then I can't progress on other things and do other things for the shop and make it special for me staff if I'm stuck
more
behind.
For the shop then, because people have said, what are your future plans for the shop or business? Like, even me for the academy, but I want to know what your future plans are for the shop. Like, if you want to progress, you're saying you want to progress. What?
I don't want to.
You're not going to spend more money on it, are you?
No, nah. I just think, like, I just want the little nest just running mint.
Yeah.
With, like, good squad. Everyone's on the same page. Because like it was just said, I've had me ups and downs with people, and like, especially the last person I had in, thinking he's going to be Barber of the Year and that and stuff like that. And this is going back to like the last podcast. And it's just people just, I think.
Yeah, but sometimes that's a little bit unfair.
No,
like it is, because,
you
know, we are all barbers. You get into barbering to be a barber, we'll provide a service for people, like we've said. So that is your job, like to do that. But people do want bigger things, and you can, that's fine. People do want bigger things. I know I because I sort of see things from everyone's point of view. I do, because I just think, you know.
Yeah, but there's ways and means of doing it in there. We'll leave it as that.
We're not going to go on to that.
We'll leave it as that.
We're not going to go on to that.
You help people out and then you fucking get shafted, basically, but we'll leave it as that. But
so what I want to know is your future plans for this shop. Well, people do.
Well, like I say now, right, so basically plans. The squad that I've got in now is really, really good. I'm really happy. Really, really happy, actually. Everyone's positive. Everyone's on the same page.
Positivity's massive.
Yeah, it's really, really good.
That.
And I've never felt like that in the shop though for a long time. Since Danny and all that was here, I had Danny, Unit, and it was really good them days. They were brilliant. Like,
Danny,
you know what I mean?
Man. Can I just give Danny a shout out?
Right, of course you can. Right?
He's absolutely brilliant, Danny.
Legend,
I love him. He's lovely. So Danny, there's a little story. So Danny, who's got staff barbers, yeah. He moved home. We always knew he was going to move home, didn't we? It was really.
He was only meant to be up here for 8 weeks, wasn't he?
He come and done a course,
up here for
and
2
then
years or something.
We really liked him. We put him on level 3 as well, didn't we? But I didn't want him to live on his own, so he lived in our playroom, didn't he?
Did I?
So we had like Danny living with us, and I got like really attached to him, didn't I? Like I really,
Sounded a bit dodgy.
Well, no, like the kids had a playroom, so we sort of let Danny sleep in the playroom, and he lived with us, didn't he? We really took to Danny a lot, didn't we? And then I really liked Danny, and he come into the academy.
Aye.
So I do want to give him a shout. He's just had a baby, him and Lex, who was a student. So congratulations. He is. He's absolutely fantastic, Danny. And so what the moral of that story is, like, find people in your shop who you like. That's a bit of good advice, isn't it? But then try and find people who are all on the same wavelength.
Same wave, definitely.
Yeah, people on the same wavelength.
Same wave. You've got to work as a team, haven't you? Do you know what I mean? You've got to work as a team.
That's what I was trying to get around, yeah.
You know, like, you have. It's a team effort, making sure your clients are well looked after and feeling welcomed as they come in.
You're touching on a subject there. Client care is massive, isn't it?
Everyone's got to be on the same page.
Client care is huge. I really pushed that in the academy, client care.
Client
always
care is
ask if they're okay.
Probably the main thing.
It's hard for a young barber though, or a new freshly trained barber to talk to you.
Well, I know because they're concentrating on what they're doing, this and that, which I get because we've got Connor in at the minute. And Connor's
an SB graduate as well.
Yeah, and he's nailing it, absolutely nailing it. And I told him before he came in, of where he's going to be at, you're not going to be earning, you know.
I like that about him, that he knows.
He knows, and he's willing to put the graft in. And I don't think it's going to take him long to eventually get there anyway, if I'm honest. Like, he's absolutely flying, like, and his attitude's good.
I tried not to push him onto you, but I could see me and Shay's more of a little legend.
I knew when I met Connor. Like,
oh yeah, like, me and Shay were just like, what the hell? Like, his attention to detail was just through the roof.
Yeah.
And I thought, you know, he has got so much potential.
But that's what I'm working on him now, so I'm not worrying about that side too much at the moment because I know where he's at, where he's craft, you know what I mean? Like, he's going to be mint, so because he's concentrating on that, which I obviously need him to do, but now I'm just trying to kind of mentor him kind of through, you need to have a bit of crap with your clients, you need to make an effort, you know what I mean? But it is hard for these learners, like, because you're so concentrating on, you forget that side of it, do you know what I mean? So I'm just trying to work on that with him now, get a little balance. Crack. What?
Vikki's Barbers.
What about it?
That was the best crack ever.
That was good crack.
How much did we have a laugh?
Aye.
We were talking about that on Saturday, weren't we?
That's what you need though. A good crack in a barber shop. It's a major thing.
You've got to have like chemistry between each other, and then bring the clients into it, haven't you? That's quite like that. That's probably one of the most successful ways to bring success to your barbershop.
3 barbers standing there not talking to anybody, is it? Do you know what I mean? You come in, you all right, mate? Aye, what we're doing for you? Whatever. And then just hear your clippers like that and near crack. It's shit though, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? It is.
How much laughter we're having down in the barber shop. We probably were unprofessional.
Aye.
Like, we used to laugh, didn't we?
Mm-hmm. And then, I've made some absolute unreal mates out of it as well. By being myself, though, and just having crack with the clients, you know what I mean, and stuff.
Yeah.
Prime example, this kid here, Carl. Absolutely unbelievable. Like one of my best pals ever now. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, well, the thing is with Carl, like, that's what I was going to say about business as well, is that you've got to enjoy the process to get success. You can't get success overnight, can you?
No,
you've got to like build it. And the most fun part is doing the building.
Doing it, exactly, yeah.
So we've got Carl, Ellenor. So we said, who would you like to see us interview?
Yeah.
And Carl's always about, you go for a coffee every week with Carl, don't you?
Yeah.
So we're not going to interview him. We're just going to let him.
But he's like, it's the same. Obviously, it's two different things because he's in the fighting game, but it's the same work process. He's building a brand for himself. He's working fucking damn hard. Do you know what I mean? That people don't see behind the scenes.
He did have a pink gin on Saturday, though.
He did have a pink gin, yeah. But, he's grafting solid, you know what I mean? But then people don't see that.
Yeah.
They just see what they want to see in the light, don't they? Do you know what I mean? Like, they're just seeing basically all his success, but they're not seeing the graph.
But that's the same as Barber, and it's the same with every industry, isn't it?
It's the same thing, because then they look on Instagram and they think, that must be cool, that's cool, that, you're doing this and that, but realising that we've fucking worked damn hard for that, like, you know what I mean? Damn hard.
Should we get Cal on for a little chat? Do you want to come on for a chat?
You want to jump on, like, Cal?
I'm in the right spot.
Hello, Cal. Are you all right?
Aye, good, thank you.
So it is, you have brought us a coffee this morning, thank you. But you and Ryan always go for a coffee on a Monday, don't you?
Mm-hmm. Aye.
And you became friends through the barbershop.
Mm-hmm.
So it was nice you came in. So I said, Ryan, like, we could try and get Cal on for a chat. So we're talking about people want to know how to build your brand, about like the graph that goes into it. Mm-hmm. How many years have you been building up to this point in your career?
Too many. I first started training when I was 12. First walked into a boxing gym, Sunderland ABC. It was something I always wanted to do. I don't know what it was. I always wanted to box. None of my family boxed or fought or anything like that. It was just something I always enjoyed watching. Mm-hmm. I used to watch like all the old fights, Muhammad Ali and stuff like that. So something I always wanted to try.
Cal, Ellenor, I call you Pacino, me. Where are you at in your career now? With you're hitting the big time now, aren't you?
Yeah, obviously I'm signed to Bellator, which is one of the leading MMA organisations in the world.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's massive, and that my fight there is just being pulled again. I was about to be second fight in Bellator, just about the main event, one of the biggest cards of the year, in the Dublin one. Obviously,
which we're going to see.
Yeah, it's this weekend, isn't it?
Yeah.
And obviously, my opponent got injured, pulled out there, and they couldn't get us a replacement. So, because they've basically, I think what the issue was, they could have got us a replacement, but they've got big plans for us further down the line, and it's in quite close proximity to what that would be. So, obviously, with that fight not happening, they've got bigger plans. So they're just keeping us fresh till then. So I just got I'm going to be able to go and spectate and watch a show as a fan, you know what I mean? Get there and just
with us,
with you, exactly.
Well, not too many.
Pink gins, and then and then straight back to work. You know what I mean? Straight ready to get this.
And that's what people don't see, the work that you put in. Mm-hmm. So that's what me and Ryan have been talking. Sort of the work that goes into building your brand and building your business. Mm-hmm. You gotta work hard. Like, how many days a week do you train?
It all depends on the week, really. I always try and, like, I don't have a set day off. I try and because what I used to do is I used to always plan my day off, and when it would come to me day off, I would feel fresh, and then I'd train, and then I would have a super busy training day the next day, and I'd be dead.
Yeah.
So what I do now is I just try and train as much as I can, and then if I have a day when I wake up when I'm feeling super sore or I'm wrecked, I usually have that as my day off. But a lot of the time I wake up and I feel good, so I'll go and train, or I'll grapple or whatever, you know what I mean? I'll just play it by what I'm feeling. So I'd 9 times out of 10, it's always 6. It's always about 6 days a week, and I try and get in twice a day if I can. Even if it's not 2 MMA sessions or grappling sessions or whatever, I'll always try and run on one of the days and then do whatever exercise on the night.
So it's consistency, isn't it? It's like you've got to keep at it all the time. You sacrifice your family time, everything for this, haven't you?
Yeah, everything. Like, put all my eggs in the basket, you know what I mean? Just literally, that's all I do.
But it's paying off for you now, isn't it?
Finally, you know what I mean? Like, that's what everyone always says. Like, I was having a sauna the other week, and there was some big knacker was saying to me, he was saying like, oh, you're fighting all over the world. I seen you fighting in South Africa. Free holiday, I'd fight anybody for a trip away. And it's like, it's easy to say that, mate, but when it's you who has to actually get into the fight, get punched in the head, and be on live telly or be in front of a live audience, it's easy to say that. It's horrible, it's disgusting, I hate it, but I love it as much as I hate it, and that's why it's addictive, because it's never like, it's just you just don't just go there and do it. It's like a constant mental battle, and it's like one week I'll be feeling positive in myself and feeling like super like self-confident and stuff like that, and then you'll have a week where maybe you felt a bit flat and you've had a bad session, and then you have all the bad thoughts trying to creep in, and it's a constant like anxious battle, and it's a battle against yourself. So that's why I love it, because it's like you're just competing against your own mind, you know what I mean? And it's about overcoming that. And every time people say, oh, it gets easier the more you do it. And this is my 41st fight coming up, and it gets harder every time, because it's not about the opponent or the danger or the risks, whatever comes with each different style or whatever. Like, I'm not bothered about that. You go in the shower, you can get wet, you know, you have a fight, you can get hit, anybody can get knocked out, anybody can get choked out. Things happen, but that's not the fact that bother us. It's the pressure I put on myself, because I know where I believe I should be, and I believe I'm as a certain standard as I am, and I want to show that in the fight. And that's the thing that causes me the anxieties and the rough night sleeps and stuff like that, you know. So
you've got a lot of support behind you though, haven't you?
I have. It's crazy. It gets much bigger every time as well. Like, I mean, a couple of fights ago when I was first fighting in South Africa, and that was an eye opener to realise like how much support I got from the first fight out there. Obviously, when I got robbed out there, I smashed a local well-known guy. You know, it was a tough fight going in, hard fight stylistically to fight against, and I beat that guy, and they give him the decision. It was the first loss of my career, and that decision going that way, although it was a loss, actually kind of had the opposite effect, and it got so many more people on board with this and wanting us to succeed and supporting us, that the next fight round, it was completely different, and it was like levels above, like in the levels of support I had, you know what I mean? And it just worked that way for us, and it's just grown ever since, and especially locally now.
The
like it's
local people behind you. That's crazy. What I was saying. Interview Cal. Even though it's not business, not barbering, it's like, it's sort of similar in a way that you've just got to keep working hard at everything, haven't you?
Absolutely, definitely.
Now, you come in the barbershop, didn't you, with long hair?
It was...
Did you have dreadlocks?
No, it wasn't dreadlocks. It was I had like proper long curly hair down. It was past my nipples actually. Like at one point it was just long hair in there. I don't know what, I just come in to get it whipped off like.
And Callum did it, didn't he? And then I remember Ryan saying, oh, this lad's been in da-da-da. And then you just become like part of the furniture in here, didn't you?
Aye.
And then became friends with Ryan. And then things have progressed from there. And then it's like, it's just strange how a barbershop can sort of bring people together, isn't it?
Aye, it's the vibe that you come in here. I think it's like, it's just really welcoming, you know, like everyone's kind of on the same wavelength, all the cracks the same, and it's like, it's just a good place to be. It's a good place and good people to be around, you know what I mean? And it's like, that you just end up meeting friends that way naturally, you know what I mean? It just happens itself. Just like, it's just a cool vibe to be.
That's the history around. Of the barber shops though, isn't it? It's not about like the barber, it's about the person.
Definitely, that's it. It's like you're not just in and out, you know what I mean? You're in and there's crack and stuff like that. So it's a good, you know, you're gonna have a good laugh if you go there, you know what I mean? Like, as I say, like me and Ryan will hit a coffee or whatever, and then we'll chill, or it's the same if we come here, we'll have a coffee here, you know what I mean? It's the same crack. It's just somewhere, it's like, although you're getting your hair cut and stuff like that, it's more like an event, you know what I mean? Because you're chilling for a while, and you're in there for a while. Even if you're in the shop, there's always good tunes on and stuff like that. I mean, you can have a drink or whatever, it's mint.
Yeah. That's what I wanted to get across though about barbershops, because when people are setting up barbershops now, it's sort of, they don't really think of it like that. That's why I was saying, like, the dynamics have got to be right with your staff. You've got to be like a positive, like, sort of like happy person who's a people's person, really. And when you've got a shop full of that, it like reflects and people come back. There's loads of people, we get a lot of like sport people who come in, don't we, Rye? Who sort of like the vibe of the shop. And I mean, I don't work in the shop now, but I wish I did sometimes, because the cracks class. I love it.
It's mint, aye.
But yeah, and the building of like, we love it because we've seen you from, obviously you were doing well in your career, and now you're up there, and we're coming to see you, and we're excited for you, and we'll build sort of the buzz around you. And there is a massive buzz in the Northeast for you.
100%, aye, it is. It's as I say, it gets crazier every time, and especially now, especially with the way the last ones went with it being pulled and stuff like that, and against the opponent who I had as well, and who they're looking to get back on and stuff like that. It's a massive fight, and it's at the level as well. In Europe, it's kind of like the winner of this fight, it'll be like the next guy who fights some of the top Americans in the world and some of the biggest named bantamweights in the world, you know what I mean? So it's a massive, the stakes are really high, and it's a huge fight for both of us, and it's going to progress. Either one of us who wins massively, even the loser's still going to get good recognition. 100% high. There's
mindset.
No doubt. 100%.
You've got a mindset.
I have. I believe it. I definitely believe I can and will win. I think I will knock him out. I feel like I've got the right style to negate what he does, and I feel like that's I'm a tough ask for him to come to fight against. But it's one of them things. It's a fight, and we'll see. But I'm really looking forward to it. Like.